Hi friends, this is Linda and welcome to my channel. Today I'm so excited to share with you guys my 2024 lineup. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay guys, I know this looks like I have a ton of things here and you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, how are you going to keep up with all these things? And the answer is these are not all everyday things, but I do have a lot of planners and journals in my lineup, and that's simply because that's what works for me. In 2023, if you have been following me, you probably have seen that I'm using a Hobonichi cousin for pretty much everything. I have my planning in there, my journal, all sorts of things. And well, I understand why that works for so many people, and I like the aesthetic of how it looks super full and lived in at the end of the year. That just doesn't work for me. I am a very compartmentalized person. That's just how my brain works. So I like having different planners and journals for different purposes. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one first, because this is probably the one I am the most excited about and is like the newest thing to my lineup. But this is the 2024 B6 Common Planner. This is a full year, and this is what I'm going to be using for my everyday carry. I'm gonna kind of go ahead and try to zoom in a bit so you can see a little bit closer as I give you a little bit of a look into this planner. So I went with the pink one, and I ordered this on pre-order. So I ordered it way back in, I want to say like September, and I've had it for maybe about a month now. This starts in January of 2024, but I've already started setting it up. I have the clear cover that's from Common Planner on it, which I'm very happy about because it's already like covered in all sorts of stuff, which you can see me picking at it. It's like adhesive and things that came from my desk, so I need to maybe try to clean it. It was really tough to get it into this clear cover. I felt like I was going to rip the cover off of the planner itself, but now that it's on here, it's super snug and it's almost like it doesn't have a cover. It's like bendable but sturdy enough to protect it. And I think it still keeps it compact enough that I don't think I'm going to ever have to remove it from the cover, but we'll see. I decided I'm not going to decorate the cover on this one because I do like just the subtle texture that's on the pink. I don't know if you guys can see that on here, but there is like a texture to the cover. And then having the clear cover, I don't want to take it on and off to add things. Just moving into it though, I did add this on here. This was from Brandy Kincaid. It just says the cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. I just like the calming look of it. If you are someone who selects a word of the year, or I don't know if you've heard of that, I tend to do the project called One Little Word from Ali Edwards. This year in 2023, my word was fun. And I kind of fell off of the project and kind of decided I outgrew the project itself, but not having a word. So in 2024, I'm really being drawn to using the word ease. So that's going to be my word in 2024. And I will have a whole other video about that at some point. But I'm not going to keep a separate project for it. Instead, I'm just going to document it in here and in all of my planners and journals. So you'll probably will see just like signals to ease. And so I'm going to just give you a little bit of a flip through of what I've set up so far. I just have like my information here. On this year at a glance, all I did was I highlighted my paydays just to kind of get an idea of where those are. So this planner is going to be my everyday carry planner. So like this is what I'm using for like life planning. Anything related to life that doesn't go into another planner is going to be in here. Then it has a blank spread, which I decided to use for a vision board. A lot of people have asked about how I did this, and I'm thinking of putting together another video that is going to show my process for creating 2 different kinds of vision boards this year. You'll see the other one soon, but this is like a mood board, vision board type of project, and I made this one in Photoshop. My cat Pumpkin is coming to say hello and check out my planner. Okay, I'm gonna cut in right here and switch to a sped up version of me prepping some of the pages in here. I know a lot of people like to watch the process or sit back and work on their own planners or journals while watching someone else work on theirs. So I included this here because I did record it. But if you are not interested in watching this part and just want to see the flip through of me talking through what the spreads are, you can skip to 11:15 timestamp on this video. And otherwise, enjoy. Okay, moving on to the goal breakdown page. So this page is preset in here, and I feel like the lines in the Common Planner are super light compared to the Hobonichi Cousin, which might be nice to kind of have your own content stand out, but I think it might make it hard to see on video. But there's a grid on here where it has a breakdown for 6 categories of goals, and then it says someday, 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So this is just kind of to break down your goals and do like a broad overview of how you want to work on these things throughout the year. I have not yet filled this out, as you can see, but I did identify the 6 categories that I want to focus on, which is home, physical health, mental health, lifestyle, which is going to be just like things that I want in my life, like reading, that kind of thing, and just like the way I live my life. Linda Loves Creating, which is this YouTube channel in my Instagram content. And adventure is going to be like travel and going out and exploring and getting outside of my comfort zone. Then you move into the quarterly breakdown. As you can see, I have not done anything on here yet, but I plan to use this as a tracker similar to what I have done this year in my 2023 Hobonichi Cousin. I will show you that briefly here, but so these were how I was tracking in 2023. I plan to do something very similar on here. This has less spots, but these also include some creative things. So I'm going to take those off and make this purely like life things, like cleaning and that type of stuff. Exercise, things like that I do want to track daily. Over here, I'm going to do quarterly goals because I found that monthly goals don't really seem to work for me. I think a month is just too short of a time for me to focus on anything. But I'm going to do some quarterly goals at the top. And then in these sections, I have here, I do monthly cleaning and just kind of do like, these are annual types of projects around the house that I want to do. And I think I'm going to break those down on here. Either that or I will put them down here. Not fully committed to that yet, which is why I haven't set it up. But that's my basic plan. So you go through the 4 quarters. Then you move into the monthlies. I'm going to be using this as pure future planning. I will probably have a checklist down the side here of things that I need to get done that month. And then I will put things in my schedule here. I haven't filled anything in yet, but I plan to set this up and we'll show you guys, similar to what I've been doing this year, a monthly flip through at the end of the month. I think that that's probably my plan. I might do some plan with me's too. Let me know in the comments what you would be most interested in seeing from me. But right now I'm just kind of giving you an overview and a basics of what my lineup's going to be, what my plan is, and what I have set up so far. So then you move into the weekly spreads. And again, this is what I'm most excited about because in 2023, this is like where this was really not working for me. But my weeklies here, I'm like trying to do documenting, I'm trying to do planning, I'm trying to do all sorts of different things in here on one spread, and it just doesn't work. So this is going to be purely about planning. I'm going to use this timeline as an actual timeline to fill in my day of what I have scheduled so I can do it for future planning. I will have a checklist over here of things that need to get done. I will have my daily cleaning tasks and my meal planning in here. After all of the weeklies, this is where this planner is very different from the Hobonichi Cousin and why I decided to get this one. But I'll just flip to the back here. You have just blank grid pages. The only thing they have on them they're numbered. So I think that these can be dailies, but they can also be used however you want. So I'm super excited for this. I also love that it doesn't have the quotes at the bottom. I really kind of hate that about Hobonichi because it does take up so much of the space. And I found that I don't really like the quotes. Either they're in Japanese and I can't read them, or if it's the English version, I think the translation, they just don't translate super well. So they're just kind of strange statements. So I don't super love that. So I thought that this would be great. And although this is a smaller size than the Cousin, because this is B6 rather than A5, which I can show you, like moving to like daily pages that are not filled in here. Like here's some blank daily pages. You can see the size difference between the pages is pretty big, but once you get rid of this quote part, it's actually pretty similarly sized. So I feel like there's going to be plenty of space on here for dailies. And I tend to use my cousin for daily planning and journaling, and this is purely going to be planning. But there's no rush to like fill the whole thing up. I can just use a half a page if I need it. In the beginning here though, I did set up some initial trackers, which is another thing I love about the blank pages because I can use them however I want. So I started with an index, and I think I'm going to index this because these net pages are numbered and there aren't any tabs or anything. I'm considering putting tabs on as I go to tab the months out so it's easy to find the current month. I'm not entirely sure yet. I don't have any yet, so that will be something I will update you guys in my after January video. But I like that I have all these blank pages because I can add in trackers, and my goal is to set up as many trackers as I think I will need for the year at the beginning before I go into my January pages. But if I always come up with something later, I can always add it in, and I have this index to have a quick reference of how to find it. So then I have my long-term tracking. These are things that I do once a month or less, and I just like to track when I did them last. I did something like this, very similar to this, in my 2023 Hobonichi cousin, and I've done it before in bullet journals and other planners. But basically, each of these grids is like a little square. So say the AC filter, if I decide to change it on June 2nd, I will go to the June box, and write a 2 in there. So that will be when I know that I last changed the AC filter. Then I go into my routine cleaning, and these are things that I do typically once a week. Some of them are once a month, but you know, it's things that I could do more than once a month. Whereas like these are things I'm gonna do like once every 6 months. Like I'm not gonna deep clean the garage more than maybe twice a year, but I'm definitely not gonna do it twice in 1 month. So I don't need a larger tracker. This tracker gives me 4 boxes per month, which this is one that I kind of struggled with because I have 5 boxes per month in my current version of this in my 2023 cousin. But because this is the B6 size, there's not enough space. I didn't want it to go onto 2 pages. I really could have done that if I wanted to and do a second spread, but it just didn't make sense. So I'm doing it like this with 4. And if I do happen to need a 5th one, I might start doing like a slash and putting 2 in 1. Or I'll figure it out as I go. But these are things that I do weekly or like every other week or once a month, or try to. And this way I can see when the last time was that I did it. Then I have my bill tracker. So this, again, I drew out the grid in this one as opposed to these where I didn't make the lines, just because I wanted these ones to really be bold. And some of these I X them out because they're only due every other month or every 3 months. But basically, these are all of my bills. I'm going to write the date that it's due in here. So like my mortgage is going to be due on January 1st. I'll write a 1 in there. And once I pay it, I will highlight it off. These are my paydays, which are already written in because I figured out what they all are. So when I get paid on January 2nd, I will highlight that. So I know that I've been paid. These are some other financial tracking stuff that I have and just like other notes. I didn't add any additional trackers in here yet. Some of those because they will be more personal, but I am going to add all of like my passwords and some financial tracking type things. If there's anything else that I add that I can share, I will. But for now, this is what my setup's going to be for my everyday carry. Okay, next let's talk about my Hobonichi cousin. I'm so excited about this. This is my 2nd year in the cousin. I absolutely adore this planner. But what I really love, because it has these designated daily pages, I love using this as a daily journal. If I don't journal on a specific day, that's fine. I will fill it in with other fun things or I will leave it blank. But I love that I have this as a place to journal in daily. And that's what I wanted this whole planner to be. So I haven't done much to set up in this planner yet. I did one thing so far, which I will show you guys. Right here, I made a vision board. So comparing this to my other vision board, I will likely do a separate video showing you my process for these, but these are kind of the 2 types of mood board vision boards that I do. This is like the crafty one and this is the digital version. but they both kind of are showing the same type of thing. My word for 2024 is ease, my intentions for the year, and kind of setting the mood for how I want 2024 to go. Besides that, I haven't done anything to decorate this yet, but I do want to add some stickers on the front. My 2023 cousin, I added a couple of stickers on here. I want to do the same here. This one will also go into this cover once I'm officially move into it. But I thought I would do this with you guys here. So I do have a couple stickers. Like there's this one that says, let's go exploring. I'm considering putting that on here. But these are just kind of like my bigger stickers. I have so many that I love. I love this one. I love the little emojis. I think I want to put this guy on here. I think I want to put that one. And then maybe like one more. But there's just so many cute ones. I need a little space and grace. Like that's just so cute. Get up, be myself, tell the truth, love my people, live the crap out of this life. A lot of these stickers, by the way, are from Brandy Kincaid. She has a monthly subscription, and I have picked that up at some points, and I've also picked up, she sells like little pieces in her shop, like where you can just pick out the ones you want. See, don't erase away the delights of the day. I do like that one. I like this little like sunshine. I don't think I want so many on here. This one is like a travel one too. Weekends getaway, but I feel like I am going to travel a lot, but that seems like a lot. So I have this letterpress one from Traveler's Company. Wouldn't it be nice if each day was a step in a journey with Traveler's Notebook? But I feel weird putting this on here because this is not a Traveler's Notebook. So I don't know. I believe in you. That one's really cute. These little clouds. Oh, this one. What does this say? More hope. That's super cute. There's some here from Life Love Paper. Some other like random ones I have in my stash. This one's super cute. I'm not sure if I want to use this or if I want to put, this one's super good too. I think I'm going to put this one. So this is from Everyday Explorers. I'm just going to go ahead and stick it down here. And then I'm going to put this guy right here. And this one is from the Coffee Monsterz Co. Coffee Monsterz Co. Now the question is, do I want something else up here? I kind of do, but I feel like it needs to kind of coordinate. I love this one, but I think I'm going to save that for another one and that one too because the colors don't work with these colors. I think the only one that does is like that Stay Soft one. I'm going to just look here. There's also this Make one, or I Believe in You. The sun. I'm going to put this one. Soft Hearts. Oh, it actually has words on the back. That's fun. Makes me not want to throw away the backer though. Okay. I think that's good for now. I might end up adding like my name or like the month on here. Not sure. See, I also have these ones. These are super cute. I kind of want to put one of these on here. Things I want to remember, maybe. Okay, I think that that's good for now. I love a lot of these other stickers, but I probably will use them in here. So now I'm going to flip through and show you quickly like how I'm going to use things. I tend to not use this spread. This, again, I'm going to use it as a tracker, but I'm probably going to use it as like creative practices and all the things, the practices I want to do, just to kind of make sure I'm on track with putting the time in and using the time where I want to, and that I am making time for these creative practices that I want to do. At the bottom, I'm thinking of adding in a monthly photo, but I'm not sure yet. For the monthlies, this is where I haven't fully decided. So a lot of people do really cute photo a day on here, but I know that that will be something that might be a little overwhelming to keep up with. So I might just do like something decorative in here. I really don't know how I want to do the monthly. I was also thinking of doing like daily gratitude or health tracker, but I'm not sure yet. So I haven't decided. I will let you guys know once I do. For the weeklies, this is where I'm going to be documenting what happened every day for purposes of Project Life. So if you're not familiar with Project Life, that is a documenting project that I do, which is my primary form of memory keeping, where I document all of my photos and stories from my daily life. And it's a super fun project. I love it, but I tend to work a month or so behind what actually happened. So when I'm getting ready to put a page together, I won't remember what happened that week, because like when I'm doing this week, it'll probably be like mid-February. So I will just open my Hobonichi cousin to this week and it will have notes about what I did. I will probably add some photos and cutouts and decoration on here just to make it fun, because this is going to be purely for fun now. This is not future planning, which I have right now in my Hobonichi cousins, kind of a mix of both. This will be purely for remembering those memories and having fun. So I'm very excited for that. Then of course you move into this page, which I've already done my vision board, and then you move into the dailies. I don't know what I'm going to do with these monthly things here. I was thinking of maybe doing a monthly vision board, but I don't know yet. We'll see. I might actually like do like memory keeping recap, or I don't know. And then I'm going to go into my daily journaling, which is going to just be daily journaling. And then in the very back, see, there's a few blank pages, which I don't really need anymore. I was using these for my trackers last year, but I'm not going to do trackers this year in here. This is my journal. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Or really with these, I might try to fill in some of these. The My 100 in 2023, I was using this for 100 memories, or like little pieces of the year that were very like iconic 2023 to me. So like maybe a song that I listened to on repeat, or a meal I keep reaching for, or a vacation I went on. I'm putting all of those things in here, and I will share that at the end of the year when I do my full year flip through, but I'm thinking I will do that again in 2024. And then see, these, I really don't know that I will use these ones, but I do plan to use this one as a Pilates or yoga tracker, because I do want to have that visual of how many days I did that in the year. And although that's not really like a crafty fun project, it's still like I want it on this tracker, because I don't have this tracker in my common planner. And I think that, you know, it is still kind of like a personal project because I don't have to do it. So that's my Hobonichi cousin. And let me clear these out of the way and move into the next one. Okay, next up is my Hobonichi Day Free, which is my craft planner. So in 2023, I really struggled to find a craft planner that worked for me. I tried a few different brands. I tried bullet journaling. I just struggled with it. I like to keep my craft planning totally separate from my other planning, because crafting is something I do for fun. And that means that if I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed, I could just put this aside and not look at it, because I don't have to do anything in here. I do have some commitments with creative teams and such, but I tend to get those things done with enough time in advance that I don't feel stressed from them. And if I was getting up against a deadline and feeling super stressed, I would maybe transfer what I have to do into my main planner and put this one aside. But thankfully that hasn't happened. I'm thinking I want to decorate this one with this guy right here, because I do really love like the blue. So I'm thinking I'm going to put that on here. But this is what I'm using for my craft planner. And I purchased this from right when Hobonichi's released for 2024. So I've had it since, I don't know, mid-September, late September. Sorry, I need to peel this. There. So anyways, I've had this from late to mid-September, And I decided to just go ahead and move into it in October because I didn't have a system that worked for me. So this is working really well, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a quick flip through. I don't have any use for this because I have this in my Hobonichi Cousin. I have trackers in my Common Planner. I don't really have a need for this. I might come up with a way to use it as an index or something. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would use that for. I do use these. It is not yet December, so I haven't done it yet. I moved in here in October. So what I ended up doing was needing to draw my months in here. So this is what I plan to use my monthly for, but basically this is my content calendar. So you can see on here everywhere I've posted an Instagram photo, posted a YouTube video, and I have all of that documented on here. I put them on here after I post them. Before I post them, I have a large desk calendar with sticky notes so that I can move things around if I need to, because nothing is really set in stone. Sometimes something like really strikes my interest and I'm like, oh my God, I really want to post about this. Sometimes I get tired and like I need a social media break. So like I said, this is for fun. So none of this has to happen, but I do like to document in here what I have already posted just to keep a record of it and see kind of, you know, how consistently am I posting and that type of thing. I also, because I plan ahead, it's helpful to just, you know, not just erase that plan once I've done it, but I do need to plan it in advance so that I know like that I can get all of my videos filmed and edited in time to post them by the time I want to post them. So anyways, that's what I will use the monthlies for. And this is a day free. So if you're not familiar with this, this is the A5 version, and it's very similar to the Cousin, except that it's just the monthlies, and then it moves into just blank pages that are numbered. Again, you still have the quotes, but it is what it is. This page I'm going to use as my craft goals. I haven't set up my 2024 craft goals yet because it is still November. And I don't know what I'm going to finish in November and December. I don't know how I'm going to feel going into January. So I will likely do this in like that last week of December after Christmas, before New Year's, or maybe like right on New Year's. And I will most definitely share this somewhere online. Then I have a reference page, which I'm not going to share because it has like information for brands I work for. And then I have my trackers here. So this is, you know, how many followers I have, and then I'm going to track just my growth. And well, I don't like to focus a ton on this. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know, I kind of just post what I'm working on or what I'm excited by. I don't just stick with whatever, you know, like I used to only post scrapbooking and now I'm into planning. So I post that. And that's just kind of, I'm doing this for fun. I want to share what is exciting to me. But at the same time, I do want to track my growth because it is useful information to know what's working and what's not working. And I do put a lot of time into like the editing process. And if people aren't enjoying what I'm sharing, it's kind of a waste of time. So I do track that and check in with it once a month on the first of the month. So at the end of November, I will document what growth I got during November. These are some ideas, so you can kind of get a hint into a sneak peek into some of the things that I might want to do. Then I created an index similar to what I did in my Common Planner, where I'm just going to document what is on which pages. And then I have just craft planning. So here are some ideas for December daily. I left another blank page for that. Then there's some notes from the Start Here class, which I'm going to cover. And then I have, this is my 2023 Project Life Tracker, where I have the weeks, the kit I'm using, and the page configuration, and then where I am in the process, if I've already planned it, printed, that kind of thing. So this is how I keep track of my project life, especially because I like to plan my projects in advance, and this way I know, oh, for October 16th through 22nd, I don't yet have a kit designated. So if a new kit comes in that I want to use for a fall spread, I can designate it for that week. These are for my mini-me albums, which are my 6x8 mini-me albums. And I have like some notes here about certain pages I want to do This one I have already finished the 2022 album, but this is 2023 part 1. So I am just kind of filling in those gaps. So I have a list of pages I want to finish so that that album can be checked off as completed and put away on my shelf. And then I will finish up 2023 part 2, which I have already started, but I just kind of am working on both at once. Then here we go, moving into October. Like I showed you guys already my calendar. Here's my goals and the projects I wanted to work on in October. Here I track my project life cards that come in and go out just to make sure I'm using as much as are coming in. I'm tracking kits coming in, kits being crushed, my stamps coming into my house and then going into my stamp organization. And then this is just a list of all of the projects that I've completed that I included in my tracker, just in case I'm like, did I remember to log that project on my tracker? I can look here and see. Then my November planning. Here you can see my projects that have already been posted as of filming this video. And sometimes these will be on here even though, like, say it was November 9th. These ones were already all written in because they were scheduled. I typically don't post live. I tend to schedule things in advance. And that's simply because I have a full-time job. So I'm not available to post regularly. But I tend to post every few days and kind of schedule things out so they are still timely and relevant to what I am working on. Moving into my November goals and my November products, I have not yet done a ton in November because it's still like, I guess it's the middle of the month now, but this is just giving you an overview of what my goals are. And that's it for what's in here so far. Starting with December, I will not draw the calendar out anymore because these monthly calendars at the front start in December, so I can easily use that one. But then I will put my goals and my trackers in here for December. And say I want to plan another kit, I will just turn to the next page and do that. And then then I set up my December, it will be there, and I will just put that in my index. So that is my craft planner that I feel like it will definitely last me through 2024. I don't use that many pages per month. And there are, let's see, 168 blank pages it looks like, or 171 grid pages. It's more than enough. And then there are some of these extra pages in the back. I probably won't use these. Like I said, I already have these in my actual Hobonichi cousin, so I don't need them again. Okay, next I'm going to show you my last two Hobonichi. Actually, that's not true. My last two new Hobonichi products. And then I'm almost done with my lineup, but not completed. This is my Hobonichi Weeks, and I use this as my work planner. I am using one for 2023, and I obviously can't share it because once I add anything in here, it is confidential information because I do work in the government doing taxes. So like there's a lot of taxpayer information that I would write down. So it's completely needs to stay at work or with my work stuff. So I can't share anything of what it looks like once it's completed, but I can show you guys. This is my blank one for 2024. I selected this cat cover, which is so cute, you guys. When it initially came out, I didn't like it that much. But then I eventually changed my mind and was like, oh no, I do like this. And once it came, I love it. So I'm super thrilled with it. It has this cute little like Hobonichi textured pattern here. It does have this like year at a glance tracker. I didn't find a good use for this in 2023. I tried to track like my office days versus telecommuting days, and I just didn't keep up with it. I have that digitally. I don't need to have it in another spot. I do use my monthly calendars, and this is to schedule like my meetings. So this is where I do like my future planning that is purely work related. In my common planner, I will do future planning for everything that is life related. So the difference between these is that I won't put any confidential information in this one. So say like it is April 2024 and I have a hearing that's in New York City on April 10th. In here, I will write hearing New York City because that shows me I am busy that day. I have to be in New York City and that's it. Here I will write hearing, New York City, and then the taxpayer information, like the case name, the judge name, and that kind of stuff, because I need that information to know like how to prep and everything and to be ready for it. But I don't need it here because I just need to know here that I am in New York City for work so that I don't double book myself. So that is why I keep 2 separate calendars. And then this one, I will also put like personal appointments if they might conflict with work. So like, for example, if I am traveling for the entire week of April 15th, I will put out of office traveling so that I know not to schedule meetings that week. But then here is where I will really write out, my hotel information and stuff, because this is my personal planner and this is my work planner. So that is one reason why I do keep those 2 separate calendars. And then after that, you go into the weeks. Here they have these dots. I do use those. I draw the 2 columns down here. In the left-hand side, I put, again, any appointments, so any meetings and stuff, so that I know where I am. I will highlight the numbers of the days that I am actually in the office versus telecommuting. And then I will put an X through the days that I'm not working. Obviously not Saturday and Sunday, but like if I'm off on a Friday, I will put an X so I know it's not a work day. This middle column I use to track my hours at work because I do not work a regular schedule. I work different hours every day and it's very flexible, but I do have to track my hours. So I use this to write it down before I put it into our computer system. And then here is where I supervise 3 people. So this is where I put notes from, oh, this person's going to be out this day or whatever, so that I can keep track of their schedules as well. This side I use as a running to-do list of all of the projects that have to get done or that I want to work on during the week. And I will just kind of do it like a bullet journal style. I'll check them off as I complete things, or I will migrate them to the following week if they need to be. And then in the back, there's just these blank pages. I've used these for like notes when I get a phone call or something, but I tend to not use them that much because I do have another tracking system for like my cases and everything, which I won't go into, but this is really like what I use for my planning for work. So this is the last time you guys will see this, but just know that I will use it, and I don't think that I will have any issues with it because this will be my 2nd year using one of these, and I'm still going strong, using it pretty much every day that I work. My last new Hobonichi product is the last one that I added to my lineup, and I added this super, super late. It was just like the idea struck me and I had to go with it. So this is going to be my new media journal. If you guys have been following me, you know that I have a media journal that I started in 2023 that is documenting all of the books and movies and music and TV shows that I have consumed during 2023. I love this. This is in a B6 Stalogy. This is a B6 Stalogy. I love the size. I love the paper. It's Tomo River paper, but it does dry a little bit quicker than the one in Hobonichi because it's not quite as smooth. It's got this nice grid on it. There's just a little bit of text at the top, but nothing too busy. And so I'm able to use this. I had a kind of a template formula that I used, but there were some negatives to this. So one, I used a template where I printed all of these, which is like the cover of the media. I printed it where it's 1.75 inches across. Some of them are taller than others based on their shape. So that led me to not be able to add some notes in here until I printed the media. And sometimes I got super behind on printing my media, and then I didn't put any notes. And so I have a bunch of things like this that are blank because by the time I printed them, I had watched like 10 movies and I didn't have the time to go back and fill it in. I'm still working on it. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to finish them. The goal is to document some. Anything I get down is better than nothing. That's great. But I did want to make this project more approachable for me in 2024. So I decided to start fresh with a slightly different template. The other issue I had is because this paper is so thin, I'm adhering those all in the same spot. You can see I'm getting this super chunk right there and no chunk down here. So in here, I think I'm going to do it a little bit different. What I'm going to do, so this is the day free again. So you do have the monthly calendars and then you have the blank pages. So the blank pages are going to work very similar to those that I have in my Stylogy. I will likely, I'm not sure yet if I want to do actually no, I'm not going to do an index there. I think I'm going to do an index up here. I'm not sure. I haven't decided if I want to do an index or not. Maybe not. But basically, I'm going to come up with a set dimensions that I am going to print media. And if the media is a different shape, because like some of them are smaller, I will just have a block that I fit it inside of, and there will just be extra space. Totally fine. But that way I'm going to do it so I can start writing without putting the media here. I'm also going to stagger where I put it on the page depending on how much space I think I need. So for books, I will probably do like a 2-page spread. For movies, I might do a shorter piece. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'm going to be a little more relaxed so that I can add stuff to here before I actually print the media. I also had a whole formula here for stamping out the title, the genre, and all this stuff, the dates. I'm still going to do that to some extent, but I think I'm not going to do as much stamping. I'm going to do more handwriting so that it is simpler and easier to keep up with. Although this looks super cute, if I'm not actually consistently updating it, that doesn't really matter. It's more important that it's functional. What I decided, because when I originally thought of getting this, I'm like, but I don't really want the monthly calendars. Then I realized actually these are going to be super fun because I'm going to put all of my media on here, and I'm going to be able to track how all of it and see it visually on a calendar. So basically like a book, say I start a book on January 2nd and I finish it on January 17th, I will do like a highlight that goes that whole thing that will include that book's name and information. So you'll see exactly when I read it. Movies will most likely just be one day, so it will just be like only on that day. And then TV shows, again, will be a longer one. And I tend to watch one TV show at a time, read 1 or 2 books at a time, so it won't be too hard to fit them all in here. But I'm super excited how that visualization is going to look at the end of the year. Okay, I have 2 more things left. This one is my 5-year Hobonichi, and this is my home journal. And I don't really share this online, but I have gotten some requests with some questions about it. And I can't share a lot of it because it is personal information. So basically what this journal is documenting all of the things I need to keep track of with owning a home. So if you own a home, you know that there's so much that you need to do that goes into your home maintenance, with the yard, with home improvement, with, changing things, or maintaining your different systems. Maybe something needs repairs. For me, where I live, I have to winterize a lot of things annually. I put all that information in here. And I originally tried to do like a different system where I wanted to create a binder with all of this information. And I just couldn't motivate myself to do it. And I thought, you know what? This is something that I need to do. Why not fit it into one of my hobbies so that I will be more motivated to stay on top of it? And it worked. I bought my house in 2020, but I didn't think of doing this till 2023. So that's why this is a 5-year journal starting in 23. And I figure, it really should be like a 10-year or however many years it takes me to own this house, that I own this house. But I feel like having it for 5 years should give me enough information that on the 6th year, I will either just continue in here or I will start migrating stuff over to a new one. But basically what this is I keep track of all of the things that I do. So for example, on October 6th, I planted tulip bulbs in my yard and I did some winterizing. So I made notes here on October 6, 2023, I planted my tulip bulbs, which ones I planted, how I planted them. I wrapped my apple trees with sturdy tree wrap. I put the packaging here so I remember what I purchased. And I mulched my planters and I put down information like how many bags of mulch did I need. I deep cleaned my garage. And so I tracked all of this here. So next October, I will be able to see, oh, I did all of my tulip planting on October 6th. And this is how I did it, where I did it, all of that. This is like the stuff that happened this year. This side I'm using for notes. So I guess if you're not familiar with the 5-year journal, this is kind of how it's laid out. It sort of looks like the Hobonichi Weeks, but it is a much larger journal. This is the A5 size. I believe they do also make an A6 size if this is too large for your purposes. This is intended to be a 5-year journal where you write like a sentence or two each year and then you can see it each year. I love that idea. I actually keep a 5-year journal that I don't share with anyone online next to my bed, but this is an alternate use for this product that is not a 5-year journal. What I am doing is I am just documenting seasonal things that happen with my house. So next October 6th, say next October I plant my tulips on October 4th, well, I will write it here. And then I might make notes to say, oh, last year I did it earlier. I'll be able to see that by comparing the pages. You also get this blank page on each side. People who do a 5-year journal, I think, tend to do like an art piece over here or include something one of the years if you have like more from that one year. For me, I'm using it for extra notes and I'm adding in like packaging, ephemera, like things that I need to document. So it's not so much like for fun. This is more for productivity, but I'm also having fun with it because it keeps me on top of it. In the back, there's some like extra pages that I did make, you know, like a key. So I'm adding like colored dots for certain things. And then I was doing a tracker, but I feel like I didn't stick with that. And then here I made a tracker for certain things where I was like, okay, the sprinklers, there's notes on May 11th and September 1st. So if I need to get information about sprinklers, that's where it is. Taxes, there's information on January 1st and September 1st. So if I want to get my tax information, that's where I could get it. And I have stuff like my homeowner's insurance when that's due, or my property tax when that's due, and how much it is and how I paid it. And all of that information is going to be in here. So at the end of, or next year, if I'm like, I need to know like, when did I last change my air conditioning filter? What one did I purchase? Where did I buy it? How much did it cost? All of that information will be in here. And then the final one is this traveler's notebook. This is a new addition this year. I've actually started this and I will do a much deeper video about this once I get into it more. But I got this just because I really, really, really wanted to have a traveler's notebook in my lineup. I love the look of them. I bought an actual traveler's notebook cover. It's gorgeous leather. It's getting like a little bit of like wear and tear, which I think is like super fun. And I put this charm, which is a camera, on it. And then I do have 2 notebooks in here right now, but I'm only using one. I feel like at some point I might take the other one out or I'll use it for my next one. But basically I have started a Commonplace book and I don't have like a good key or anything yet. But this is just a Commonplace book where I am putting down random notes of things that I just want to remember. And I am putting colored dots that are categorizing them. And I will create a key. So this is something I just started. I was inspired by a few people online, which I will link all of that down below. But this is something where I'm just trying to like organize my brain. These are like random thoughts. And in the past, I've included these in like my Hobonichi cousin, but I want this all in its own separate spot. So going back to it seeming like I have a lot of things in my lineup, I do, but that's because I am dividing things that would have otherwise all been in one journal into multiple journals. So back to my full lineup here. Like I said, it looks like a lot, but it really isn't that much because I am dividing things that could be in all in one journal into multiple journals just to keep them categorized. Now, these 3 right here, I am not going to update regularly. I'm going to update them as things happen. For my house, this tends to be like once a month, maybe like a couple times a month. I have something to add in here and then I will. A lot of the days do end up being blank and is totally fine. It is just to have for reference so that I have that information. The traveler's notebook, I will update this as I feel like it, but probably be about once a month. My media journal, again, I will update this as I feel like it, but it will be whenever, depending on how much media I consume and how I'm feeling, I will do it. These ones I tend to use more regularly. This one I will only use while I'm working at work. This one I will use as I do crafting or craft planning, which tends to be a couple times a week, but not necessarily every day. And then these two I will try to do every day, but I won't always. I think that this will take a lot of the pressure off having this not have daily pages, because if there's a specific day and I wake up and I don't feel like I need a to-do list, I just won't write anything in here. I will probably check my calendars and stuff, but maybe like I wake up on a Saturday and I know I don't have anything scheduled. I don't really want to do a to-do list. I probably won't even pull this one out. Maybe I'll update my trackers, but that's it. And then this is my journal. This one, I hope to journal every day, but again, if I'm not feeling it, I won't. And then this one is just really for fun. So there is no pressure to do it. If I'm not feeling like it, I won't journal that day. It's totally fine. So here's my lineup for 2024. I know it looks like a lot. I know I talked for a really long time, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. In 2024, I do plan to share monthly flip throughs of my journal and of my common planner. I also will share updates on these two planners, probably not my home journal, definitely not my work planner. And then on my craft planner, I will probably share maybe quarterly or something. I'm not sure yet. But let me know in the comments which ones you want to see, what else you want to see from me, and I will take that into consideration in making my future videos. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all of your support on my channel, and I can't wait to dive into this lineup in 2024. See you guys later. Bye.